mind on in our minds, I please need our distinguished panelists to lead right now the discussion. And allow me to start a question of my own, because you raised a very, very nice thing that is the main purpose of our conference right now. It's a practical issue. So when you have in the last two slides discussed that the IMRT is not a treatment for everyone, it's a very strict indication and it needs a lot of collaboration between the treating team. So in presence of a physicist among us, some physicists are giving me the idea that the IMRT is the play easy thing. It's not more sophistication than what we are going to do in 3D conformal. Or let us speak that it's not an overcharged effort on the physicist. It's a cost, yes, for the machine, but how about the role of the physicist in collaboration with the gynecology, especially Dr. Muhammad, the planning purpose, the identification without having an atlas, with some sort of this agreement about what to consider as a risk zone and what to consider as area to be treated, considering the lymph node and to protect the bone marrow. So I need a mutual discussion between you. Start with you, Dr. Khaji.
I think there is a new technology for the IMRT and the ARC and FINAT and the IGRT. It's have a good rule for medical physicists. First in the planning for the station without the margin, for calibration, for quality control. After that, to be sure. After that, for uncertainties evaluations for the patient. Or rule for medical physics before after we delineate by clinicians the targets, we started with the plan and suggest the plan, and after that we will display and make a good buffer for evaluation the doses for the organ at risk. According we started with the constraints, and after that we plan to review with the doctors. After accepted, we started with the dry run on the machines to make quality controls for the doses and to be sure those as a plan. And after that, we start with the patient or to treat patient to complete the process.
So how much time overload that you have on planning? Is it going like the 3D conformal, or it's a triple or double thing for your time and effort?
I think now after the era for IMRT, all delineations take different rules for the conformal to achieve like IMRT. Conformal may take long time much IMRT.
That's what I meant by my question. Please, Dr. Amr.
You are my brother, but I can't agree more with that. IMRT is not for education.
Yes.
I don't have the machine. There's another issue.
Yes.
I don't have enough machines. But
if I'm having the machine and have the resources,
machines,
yes.
IMRT should be given for any patient with cervical cancer, because it's different in survival, it's different in progression-free survival, it's different in toxicity. So it is quality of life we are talking about. So I don't have this IMRT. This is another issue.
Yes. So if I'm having the resources, the machine to treat everyone, Dr. Muhammad, what is your reservation about it?
Survival and treatment failure, they equal, like 3D conformal therapy.
So
maybe toxicity is less, but for the survival
yes.
and control.
So it's a quality of life
Because
thing.
you have, for 3D conformal therapy, you have a generous margin compared to IMRT. So the failure or control, they are equal. Toxicity, yes, is less, but most of our centers, we haven't had the luxury to have dedicated machines to and have.
If you have a 4 machines or 5 machines, do you do IMRT or any other means?
For uterus and cervix, I might do 3D conformal.
You have a toxicity of 90%, you say in some places, and this toxicity is going to 60%. So you let the patient 90% of patients live with the toxicity, they get their life miserable, and you have 60%.
The studies I showed, it's homogeneous studies. There is not homogeneous, and some patients are early, some patients are advanced, some use radiotherapy alone, some use para-aortic lymph nodes. So these figures are not for early cases.
We can agree that IMRTs are less toxic.
Yes.
That's my point of view.
Any other questions?
I have
I have a question. Dr. Mohammed Farouk.
My question is for Professor Sheikh. For a patient with recurrent isolated pelvic recurrence, original pathology endometrial carcinoma, and your surgeon said to you, I can reach R0 resection for this patient. Can you go for surgery then followed by radiation, or to take the whole play with radiation? And does it differ if the pathology is something like papillary serous carcinoma?
So, to answer the first part, sometimes with robotic lymph node dissection, for the surgeon to go in and remove a lymph node or multiple lymph nodes is easier than in the past. It will save the patient the most portion of the radiation treatments, but you still need to do radiation to the pelvic lymphatics, in my mind. That's hopefully answered the first question. The second part of your question is, it might reveal a different histology. So remember, endometrial cancer could be heterogeneous cell clones. So you may have a group of endometrial carcinoma with maybe 1% clear cell or serous carcinoma. Sometimes when you do resection with lymph node dissection again, we'll find the lymph nodes are involved with this 1% clear or 1% serous carcinoma. So it could be any component. It could be the serous component or the endometrial component. Yes, it could be different.
If you know previously, the previous pathology was a serous, and there is an isolated recurrence. Could it
Most
be
likely it's serous.
serous?
Unless the initial pathology has multiple components of cell clones.
Would you seek for chemotherapy for this recurrence after?
If it's a serous carcinoma, definitely yes. The patient should receive chemo upfront, or recurrence they should receive further chemo. Depends on the time period. If they are resistant to platinum, or cisplatinum component, or carboplatin, if they develop recurrence in 6 months, they may give them a second line chemo. But if the recurrence is a year or two later, they may give carbotaxolate.
Thank you.
Question from Dr. Amr to Dr. Sheikh.
Because it is a juicy meeting, so I am hungry for the question. I have 1,000 questions, but I'm going to do one.
500 enough for never like
First, do the time factor for recurrence differ in deciding the dose if I have a recurrence after 1 year, and if I have a recurrence after 2 years, if I have a recurrence after 7 years? Does the dose of radiation will be different?
Simple answer is no, but the prognosis will be completely different.
Because we have in the recurrence of brain tumor, for example, we stick for the time of recurrence, that we give different dose according to the re-irradiation. If it is, this is, I talk about re-irradiation.
Oh, re-irradiation.
Re-irradiation.
Yeah.
Re-irradiation, not
Okay. Because re-irradiation, typically we get some of the original dose that, for example, the patient developed recurrence 5 years down the road. I had a paper, a patient developed recurrence 17 years after the initial treatment. And we went back to the pathology, we were able to get the original pathology correlated with the recurrence and was exactly the same. So we did give higher dose than we usually give because it's 15 years. You cannot ignore all the dose, but you can ignore most of it.
My second question is for Professor Mohammed Al-Dكتور. وانا بحضر المحاضره فجبت البيبر بتاعت اللي هي بتعمل دي بلاننج بعد 30 to 40 days. They found that بعد 30 to 40 days لو التيومر قل اكتر من 30 cc بيشرنك فالسمول سيستم بيخش مكانه مكان الشرينك فانت كده بتدي هاي دوز لان الدوز ده الدوز بتاع التيومر بتدي هاي دوز لسمول انتستين فوجدوا ان ده قلل التوكسيستي 40%. So it is not a matter of debate. You have to do it. I think by this difference comes so clear.
I think this is a comment rather than a question. You agree with it? I think any
Your
other-
question, sir.
Doctor, I was just commenting about IMRT for cervical cancer. We haven't had a chance.
Yes, please. We need to hear your comment.
So what we do typically is 2-3D for women with cervical cancer, unless they have abdominal process. So then we use IMRT, and the only thing I want to make sure everyone is understanding here is we have daily image guidance, IGRT daily. If you are using IMRT, your margin is narrow or tight, and if you are not doing a daily IGRT, you may lose your planning because you may end up with bladder filling and rectal filling and shrinking of the tumor as early in the first week. So you don't have to wait for filling to pay. You can start replanning after 5 fractions, 10 fractions.
They do another.
You have to plan
Yes.
You have to do daily images. This is the only way to do IMRT. That's my comment. But use it or not, again, the study is showing that there is no difference in tumor control or huge reduction in side effects if you do daily IGRT.
Any other question?
Well, hello, this is Dr. Soha Ahmed. I'm a radiation oncologist from Children's Cancer Hospital. So I just have a comment that agree with Dr. Khalid and also agree with Dr. Futuh that not every plan is fitting for everybody. And sometimes we plan IMRT, but still we choose the 3D conformer because we don't have a shortage for the benefit regarding the toxicity or something like that. I just want to stress for young people that the radiotherapy, the chain of it, it's not a matter of the machine itself. I have IMRT, but I don't have quality assurance. I don't have quality assurance for the plan. I don't have quality assurance for the process itself. Everybody has to share in the same chain. So we have to circle, and all the circles has to be fulfilled when we are going to use the IMRT. So it's not a matter of machine. I'm having the resources, the machine and everything, but I have to have the skills, the quality assurance, the IGRT daily basis, because I can deliver the IMRT without IGRT in daily basis. So this is my comment.
I agree completely with you. I can add a small idea as well. You know, the time of delivery of IMRT needs the patient to spend a very long time on
It's a step and shoot. It is long, but if you have the
if you compare 3D conformal with the IMRT, I think IMRT is quite long as compared to 3D conformal. This is the first thing. The other thing which I believe in, because I'm doing a lot of hepatocellular carcinoma irradiation, there is something which is called the global irradiation of the normal tissue. I think if you have a good 3D conformal radiotherapy plan, you can avoid
you need the integral dose for the whole
the integral dose for the other organs. I think with 3D, if you have a good plan, you can avoid this high integral dose, which we don't yet know the real effect of this integral dose. Any other questions? Dr. Ross.
I'm sorry. Dr. Muhammad Sheikh, from your point of view, as we have heard twice today, that the sun is not going to sunset for the brachytherapy, at least at this moment. Do you believe?
What do you mean, like time?
Yes. Many people said that the emergence of the new technologies beyond the IMRT, like the IGRT, are going to take the carpet below the brachytherapy to push those techniques instead, not or replacing, let me say.
I don't think so. For
Yes.
cervical cancer,
Yes.
it should not be replaced. and we wrote a very nice review article in Brachytherapy Journal actually 4 months ago, showing that brachytherapy should be considered in the management of women with cervical cancer. And we had a lot of review for papers who went through SBRT or radiosurgery for cervix, looked at their results, looked at
That's exactly, the SBRT is booming right now.
And
Yes.
we basically say, well, if you have a colostomy rate, for example, of 20% or 15% in this technique, and you have a colostomy rate of 2% or 1% in this technique, it's obvious. Number two, you have a long track history of brachytherapy for cervical cancer. Very effective. The results using MRI for planning, showing that you can actually reduce the toxicity further. So in my mind, it should not be replaced by highly conformal radiation treatment. It should be used as a standard. The only situation if a patient cannot tolerate brachy for any reason or declining brachy for any reason, then we can use the highly conformal treatment by counseling the patient that you might expect higher toxicity rates.
And what about the argue that's going right now between the manufacturers, without having names or brands, about the iridium versus the cobalt? Because in a country like ours, they said that the cobalt is taking 5 years. You will have a long list of patients to be treated, so it's more economical to be used. And we are in the matter of purchasing in many centers in Cairo and in some governments for the brachytherapy. So from your deep experience or from the literature, because I didn't find any head-to-head comparison. What do you think?
I tell you my personal opinion.
Yes,
this question should be directed to a medical physicist first, because they can tell you the difference.
I meant this to start with you and send it.
Planning and dosimetry. But the publication and track records is mainly for iridium. So if you want to compare apple to apple,
it's not
iridium is basically proven to be very efficacious. Yes, you have to change the source every 3 months or 4 months. But I think I like it because the dose is very conformal and sharp compared to cobalt. Most likely you end up with a fuzzy border for brachytherapy.
That loses the purpose of it.
Not losing, but you may end up losing the edge of the conformality from iridium. So I personally prefer iridium.
And what about the physicist? If you are helping in installing a machine right now in your center? I'm sorry?
Cost benefit due to cobalt changes.
So it's a matter of cost benefit, not the matter of accuracy. As Dr. Muhammad
It's the price is the same, which one you will select?
Yes.
Iridium will change it after.
Even if it's already the same, you
3
have
months,
to change after
after 5 years. Not the same. Here, not the same. But I think it's some published for the comparison between cobalt sources for brachytherapy and other sources maybe. And another source may be more conformal for tumors, but cobalt have a long time to be working.
This is something which is called country restrictions. Any other questions? Now I have to end this very fruitful session. Thank you for all our distinguished speakers, and thank you for my colleagues and chairperson. See you after
45 minutes.
45 minutes.